I'm stood now what can only be described the T-junction of The Dark Knight Rises as guests part, like the Great Sea, to attend either cinema for tonight's premiere. Stars of the film making their way into the cinema and also guests as well, very excited. All wanting to have their picture taken with this bad boy that I am taking home tonight.
I was going to say, I thought you wanted the one in black.
Yeah,
This one's only had one lady driver. It's done no miles. You might as well have it.
I tell you what was great, just listening to Alex talk to Christian Bale there, is just hearing his kind of complete sort of sincerity in terms of what it's been like for him as an actor to be part of something like this for so long, and the character and how important it is to him and how much it means to him.
I think the really interesting thing about the role of Bruce Wayne and Batman in the Nolan movie versions is it's not that comic book hero anymore. It's not that cheesy movie. It's actually a movie about emotion. And this one, more than ever, even though Christopher Nolan kind of describes this as the war epic finale, this one, Bruce Wayne has more emotion in it than any of the others. And actually, I think that's testament to Christian Bale as an incredible actor. When you see his portrayal as Bruce Wayne, it really is something special.
And it's that thing of the kind of, you know, losing his father at such a young age and then surrounding himself by these father figures, whether that be, you know, Michael Caine's character Alfred or Lucius, or even Tom Conti's character as well, where he finds himself in a bit of a sticky situation. But in terms of Christian Bale and what he's brought to this role, it's down to him that's brought this character to life.
There was a lot of talk about every actor wanting to be Batman, and I think when you see what Christian Bale's brought to it, I don't know any other actor that could do what Christian Bale has done with it. I think he really has. And actually, a great scenes in the movie that we can't really talk too much about between Christian Bale and Michael Caine are incredible. And you would find that in a very arty movie, in an emotional movie, not in a movie that you would consider being a Batman film.
That's the thing that Nolan does so well. It's like it's these huge set pieces. It's this incredible blockbuster, but at the heart of it is a great story with heart, with soul, and that's really important to him, both sides of that coin.
Well, Christopher Nolan, I think in all of his films, it's story first, isn't it? It's story and character first before epic action and stuff. He's always talked about the fact that he never wants to make an effects movie. And there's scenes in this movie where you think, there's no way they did that for real, and trust me, they did.
The opening scene that you see, we're not going to tell you what happens in it, but when you do go and see the film, the opening scene, which was filmed above Inverness, actually happened. And that's the thing that he wants to remove as much CGI as he possibly can. Everything's got to be as real as possible, and you see that and you feel that when you're watching the movie.
They talk about the fact that they clear a lot of Inverness, of the hills, and you're sort of feeling sorry for the odd sheep that's just strolling through, and there's a plane above them.
No,
but I'm not going to tell you anymore.
Injured.
None of them in the making of this movie. By the way, very quickly, can we say hello to everyone in the 30 countries around the world? We're streaming live and we're trending on Twitter as well. And hello to Spain. Hello to Spain that are just joining us.
Can I just quickly say as well how awesome Anne Hathaway is?
Wow, I have the best story. Anne Hathaway talks about the fact that she went into audition for a role of Harley Quinn, which is another one of the comic book movie characters, not realising until she walked in she was actually going for the role of Selena Kyle in Catwoman.
Well, listen, we're going to hear from the man himself, who, you know, whose vision this is. Alex is with Christopher Nolan.
I'm joined now here at the European premiere of The Dark Knight Rises by none other than the director and his wife, the producer of this wonderful movie. It's Christopher Nolan and Emma Nolan. Guys, well, hello. How have you found our little walk round here to stand in front of a shattered mask of the fallen hero as he is there, Batman?
I think it's amazing. It's a bit of a spoiler, but it's a fantastic looking prop. No, I mean, there's nothing like a Leicester Square premiere. They never skimp, and it's really thrilling to be back here and doing this.
It is quite impressive. It's quite impressive, isn't it?
It's incredibly impressive and a little bit intimidating.
Now, let's talk about this being the conclusion to your wonderful trilogy. Is it quite an emotional time? Was it quite an emotional time saying goodbye to this character?
Well, I think for me, with these films, until it goes out to the audience, it's not really over. So this weekend, when the world, you know, gets to see what we've done, and that's what we're building all this towards. I think that's the point at which I really get to say goodbye to these characters, and I think it'll be very bittersweet. I've really enjoyed working with these beloved characters for the last, for me, almost 10 years. And so it will be a bit sad to say goodbye.
And yet, in terms of saying goodbye, you are saying goodbye on quite a phenomenal scale, I think it's fair to say. Would you agree with that?
I think so, and I think if you're going to go out, you've got to go out big.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been trying to build to a climax throughout, and this is the conclusion to our story, and we wanted it to be the biggest and hopefully the best of the series, and that'll be for the audience to say, but we've certainly tried our hardest to do that.
And in terms of, and I know this is probably going to be very difficult to pin down a scene that you are most proud of, but if we take a look at both The Dark Knight Rises or indeed the trilogy itself, is there one moment that stands out above and beyond all others as your favourite moment?
Gosh, I mean, I don't think I'd be able to pin it down to one moment over the three films. But certainly in The Dark Knight Rises, there are some huge moments of scale that I'm very proud of, where we had, one day we had more than 11,000 extras, which was quite a thing to experience. But then there are other scenes, some of the scenes between Christian and Sir Michael Caine, incredibly intimate and moving, and some of the things with Gary Oldman, Anne Hathaway. There's such a terrific cast. So you're really split between these small moments of emotion and emotional connection with the characters, and then these moments of action and hopefully thrilling action set pieces.
And in terms of these thrilling action set pieces, producing-wise, is it difficult to marshal this man into keeping things to a certain scale?
Well, he wanted it to be big, and so it was, that was the real challenge, was, making that happen for him, because he had this vision of a movie that was going to be bigger than anything he'd ever done before and anything he'd seen before. So, yes, it was challenging, but we have an amazing team of people working on this movie, and somehow it all came together.
Well, both of you, congratulations on your achievement. Been a pleasure speaking to you, Christopher. Emma, have a great premiere.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of Leicester Square, I was just with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but he's popped over there. He's back! It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt!
Hello, thank you.
Hey, that's quite nice, isn't it? Sort of stepping out of a car and just that a wall of noise. How have you found the premiere here in London this evening?
I just love that everyone's so in love with these movies and feels so strongly about them, because, movies are something that I care very deeply about. It's not just disposable entertainment for me, and clearly everyone here feels very passionately as well, and that feels good.
They do, and they are dying to know a little bit more about your character, Blake. What can you tell us in a spoiler-free kind of way?
Yeah, well, I play John Blake. He's a rookie in the Gotham City Police Department, and I would call him an idealist amongst a lot of cynics. Gotham has become sort of a cynical place. Batman has been gone for 8 years. The rich are getting richer. No one's asking any questions. But Blake's the kind of guy that will raise his hand, even if he ruffles a few feathers.
He's a maverick.
Sure, you call him that.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Thanks for letting me use the word maverick. Now, let's talk about what it felt like, because obviously, I mean, these films are huge in scale. What was it like when you stepped onto the set of The Dark Knight Rises for the first time?
I just try to remain grateful every day, and not forget, wow, this is really, really cool, because it is.
It is, and yet really scary. I mean, I don't know, because obviously it is Tom Hardy playing Bane, but Bane looks like a mean kind of guy. How scary was it seeing him in the flesh?
Well, I mean, I think Tom's one of the best actors alive. There's several actors in this movie that I would call some of the best alive, which is funny. But, I mean, what he's done as Bane, you don't even recognize him, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen Bronson. There's a movie that he did a while ago. I remember when I saw that, I was just like, I watched that when we worked together on Inception. And I was so impressed with the power that he brings to his roles.
And in terms of the power of this film for the fans, now, people are so excited, not just the people here in Leicester Square, the people watching online, everyone who is desperate to see The Dark Knight Rises. What is in store for them?
Well, what you can expect is a real ending. And to me, as a fan, because I'm as big a fan of these movies as I am a participant. I loved the first two so much. And, you know, when there's a third sequel, they like to call it a trilogy. But it's not always really a trilogy. Sometimes it's just another sequel. But this trilogy has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And for me, that's what makes it an ideal trip to the cinema.
Fantastic stuff. Mr. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, have a wonderful premiere.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.